again. Your Saint.
Huck!
What are you wearing?
Yeah, I guess I hit the wrong button again. Hello, aloha, and welcome to the show that is by a fan, or I should say by the fans, or you guys, the fans, and about you, the fans. We are here today to talk some hockey. Yes, I have a baseball jersey behind me. I'm going to ask Ashley if she knows why that St. Louis Cardinals jersey is behind me.
Because we canceled the winter warm-up?
No. Nope, has nothing to do with that.
Okay, then nope.
Sammy Helms!
Oh.
Hey, Richard, how you doing, buddy? Welcome. Brad, hey, how you doing? Hey, Richard, man, what's going on in Detroit? Oh my goodness, I'm flabbergasted. That team is kicking some tushy. They're beating the Sharks 4-1 last I looked. Right now, the Avalanche are just starting to take it up on the Blackhawks. I was like, it was 1-0. Now it's 2-0. Early in the first, or middle to late of the first. I got an NHL Network up. See, we got it. Oh, look at this. Doug Armstrong is joining us, sir. Welcome. So great to have you on the Blue Note Fan Report. You know, I keep sending you information. I want to do interviews with you and Blues players, but I keep getting told that you don't like guys like me. So I'm guessing guys like you aren't going to, you don't want to talk to me. But it's great to have you on the show. I appreciate it. Way to go. See, Sammy, I know all about you, buddy. This is for you. I put that up specifically for you today. I went and I changed my studio, right? I moved my studio. I know you can't see it, but the laptop is right here.
Oh, cool.
Right? The mouse right in front of me, right here, right in front of me. Soundboard. I can see the soundboard. Right?
Nice.
So there should be a lot less
buttons.
Yeah, because now I can see what's on there and move things around. I still got to deal with the touch screen. We know how they can be. I've never met Mr. Armstrong, but I have met Mr. Stillman, right? I met Mr. Stillman, and I got to meet Bill DeWitt.
Ooh.
When I was in St. Louis, I got to talk to Mr. DeWitt for about 15 minutes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he is a huge supporter of the Blues. He skates with the alumni once a week.
That's awesome.
Once a week, he skates with the alumni, and he's actually a pretty great guy. Tampa Bay just scored. They're up. I can't see the score. It just says goal right now. I think it's 6-2 on Columbus. Defense has gone away. Actually, Sammy, he's played hockey. I think he played hockey as a kid. He's really into hockey. They were when the Winter Classic was at Busch Stadium. He played in the alumni game. So he's had a real connection, and he was the one that set up. See, there you go. He's telling you, that I'm not lying. Right? He's telling you I'm not lying. You know what? I wanted to get away from the jerseys and that. I wanted to show that I can be a professional broadcaster. So I decided to put on a Hawaiian shirt today, I don't know. We got to send some wishes out to, to Chris Kerber.
Yeah.
Right? Chris Kerber has tested positive for COVID. Kind of surprising, but that's what happens. He says he's fine. He's asymptomatic. He hopes to be back at the. Chris Saki says I haven't met yet. Stillman got to talk strip clubs with Chase. For some reason, that does not surprise me one effing bit. No, not at all, man. Not at all. By the way, guys, there's going to be a little bit of change. I'm gonna show as many of your comments as I can, but I'm not going to show them all. I'll mention them. I'll talk to them. But you know what? We're starting to get more people on the show. We're getting a little bit better audience, and I can't show everything. And I also want to keep the show on topic. One of the issues that has been brought up to me is how scattered brain I am on the show, and it makes the show hard to follow. Well, some people love it, some people don't. So I'm trying to find that middle ground, right? That middle ground between there, because you know what? I absolutely fucking love this.
Mm-hmm.
I really do, Ashley. I love what I do. I love the fact that once a day, you know, I can come on for an hour. I wish we could go longer. I really do. I wish we could do a 2 to 4 hour show. I mean, no one's going to watch it, but I know you couldn't do it, but I could. You know, this is broadcasting for me. It started as a hobby. It's no longer a hobby. Mm-hmm. Right? I really enjoy this. I enjoy watching the games. I enjoy seeing the things that I can see in the games. I love being able to tell people, look, man, this is what I'm seeing. We have a buddy, and you know what? If it's my show, if I want to drop an F-bomb every now and then, I'm going to drop an F-bomb every now and then. You know, I'm going to let the sailor out.
Yep.
You know, we're not. You know what? Put me on regular radio. I'll keep my. I've been on radio. I've been on with Tom Ackerman at least once, and I've been on with way back in the day before I started doing this. I was on with Chris Harabe a couple of times. I know how to keep my. I know how to lower that. But you know what? This is a media where, you know, some you can let loose a little bit. You know, so why not let loose a little bit? And I get where you're coming from, E. I really do, and I appreciate your opinion. I do. I appreciate your thought process. I just got to look at what my thought process is. I got to look at my, you know, and you know what? Then I get that. I really do. You know, I get that. But right now, I have 6 people watching me. The ones who are watching me are going to watch me no matter what. Mm-hmm. Right? And so that's what it is, you know? You know, I'm not going to get you know, as much as I want 1,000 people watching us, Ashley, it's not going to happen.
No.
Right? It's not going to happen. I can't even get 50 people to watch me. So how do I think 1,000 are? It's not going to happen. The show is what it is. We are 2 fans who have watched this game for a couple of decades or longer, who have some knowledge and some insight into what we see, and we impart that knowledge and that insight and allow other fans to work with us today and to get their 2 cents in.
Yep.
Right? When I was a kid growing up, I'll tell you what, I had one of those little white radios. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The white I don't know, transistor, but the white style radio, and it had the dials on it. And I lived in a basement, had a little room in the basement, but at night you could turn in the KMOX radio, and it was the clearest station you got, AM or FM. It's like it's every word is an F-bomb, 1 or 2 a show. It's not like, okay, yeah, I get that. Mm-hmm. You're writing some good articles. I appreciate. I don't know who you're talking about. If you're talking about Anna or me there, but Anna says she's got an article on Jordan, and we'll talk about that a little bit later.
I mean, you're both writing some great articles, so.
Say again?
You're both writing some great articles, so.
You know, I appreciate that. But listening on that radio, I used to love Sports Open Line, right? And I'm talking Sports Open Line was 3 hours long, 3-4 hours long. It was an entire show, right? And people would call in and they would voice their opinion. I remember when I was a teenager leaving from games and having KMOX radio turned on and having instantly you hearing from people. That was the post-game show. The post-game show was a Sports Open Line. It wasn't this contrived thing. No, KMOX lost the rights to the games. There is a lot of KMOX baseball runs the show, and they chose to not play Blues playoff games over early regular season Cardinals games, right? Mm-hmm. And that is the kind of thing that's why the games went. That's why 101 ESPN took over or won the broadcast rights, and why the Blues moved their broadcast rights, because they should be center stage,
especially in the playoffs.
Say again.
Especially in the playoffs.
Absolutely, they should. And the style of radio that you get now, I got to tell you, I hate it. I really do. Right? It is very contrived. It's very, and a lot of it's pre-recorded. Right? It's not live shows anymore. It's all pre-recorded, and for me, I don't like that.
No, I don't like it either.
I miss calling into the DJ. I miss calling in and having a chance to talk what I think they should talk. Right? So that's what I want. Jordan Kyrou has been the flavor of the week. I love what he's doing. I'm hoping, and I say this because you got to temper. And you know how you temper steel to make it stronger, right? You make it hot and cold. Well, you got to temper thought processes when it comes to Kyrou, right? Because they've had 4 days off, right, before they face Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh's been one of the hottest teams in the league, just like St. Louis has. Is Pittsburgh beatable? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. Is it a game where you go into thinking the Blues should win this one? Not. This is a 50-50 game. Yep. Right? This is a 50-50 game to me. I would put it. Ooh, were you guys hearing the TV a little bit?
I didn't hear it, but
you didn't hear it. I'm betting they were, because I didn't have it on mute. I had it kind of low, but I could hear it in my ear. So, all right, hold on. Yeah, it should be. Yeah. So if I do this, you guys should.
Minutes of a game. Corey Perry, we need you.
Yeah, now you can hear that, huh? Okay, so I didn't do it too bad. No, that's the kind of things that I look at and I see. Jordan Kyrou is becoming a superstar. And the one thing that is really good about him is he's got some mentors that are some of the best in the game, right? I think that he's got, well, you know what, Saki? I think he's a shooting star. He's a star on the rise, right? He first star of the week. He's got some other things. There's a lot going on. Chris Lambert says with all key players back, I think we can pull it out 3-2 in OT if we do, and that's highly possible. But the thing that it's the X factor. And the biggest X factor is COVID, right? While we've had a bunch of guys get it, we don't know if they're going to get it again. Some of these guys that have gotten it, this is their second bouts with it, right? So it's not like it. Bennington, this was his second bout. He had it prior to the bubble. He was one of the players that had it. Then he went and got it again. I remember one of the guys that got tested positive for it last season had said, hey, he was a false positive, but he had already had it. Hey, I already had it. How can I have it again? Because it's something that you can get again. Yep. Right? It's just your body, it's like the flu. It's like influenza. It's like, what do you call it? Chicken pox. That virus doesn't leave you.
No, it doesn't.
Right? It just might mutate. Okay, first stay with the new tongue. It mutates into something else. It mutates into shingles. Well, COVID is mutating into different variations, right? Omicron. That sounds like a superhero. Omicron to save the day. Omicron to cancel your game. Omicron. Oh, do I get one of these? Oh, man. Come on. Oh, man. What?
I thought you said you could see your buttons now.
I can, and I have it on the right board, but it's... I didn't push the green button for the... So my sound pad, each level has to be turned on. Okay. My sound pad wasn't turned on. So I'm hitting it, but you're not hearing it. So That
Buttons.
Well, thank you. I basically just got out of the shower. I'm gonna go do. I made a thing. I'm gonna try and do the open mic once a week.
Good.
Right? My chronic, moronic. Oh, that's good. Omnicron is moronic. Oh my goodness. Man, my voice is sounding better today. I don't know what's going on. Yes, it is. Don't give me that look.
Okay.
You're laughing, so I know it's sounding better. Otherwise, you would have taken your ears off. You did one of these numbers.
Yeah, I totally have done one of that where I flung it down.
Let's talk some hockey here. So today, not only did Chris Kerber test positive, so did two of the biggest stars in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid. Now,
Yes.
there is some good news on this. Austin Matthews tested negative on his second test.
Mm-hmm.
So if he tests negative again, he is going to be allowed to play. McDavid, we do not know. I do not know if he has symptoms or not.
He is apparently not symptomatic, and they are going to do another test
Okay.
to clear him, is what I read on
So
Twitter.
if he gets that test, then he clears 2 tests, and he'll be able to 24 in 24 hours, and he'll be able to play. I think they play tomorrow night or the night after. They
I
either play Wednesday or Thursday.
think they play on Thursday.
Hey, let me pull it up. Pull up the numbers. What is the schedule looking like today? Okay, so tomorrow we have 3 games. It's tomorrow. The Oilers versus the Maple Leafs. Actually, we only have 2 games. And then the Blues play the Penguins on TNT. It's dynamite. TNT. Out of sight. Yeah, baby. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, Saki. Ooh, that's a... I thought about this. There's something about McDavid that I think people don't understand, right? And it's a personality. Mm-hmm. McDavid is the anti-Gretzky, right? Wayne Gretzky, and this was, go watch his games. Go watch old games with Gretzky, right? Gretzky was never about his numbers.
Yeah.
He was great, but he also knew he had to make those around him better, right? And he did. He consistently did. He consistently made those around him better. And that is something that McDavid does do. I'm sorry. You can, all you Oiler fans out there, you can sit there and tell me I'm so full of it, but it's not. He does not make those around him better.
I agree 100%.
And a perfect example of this is the 1-on-4, right? Mm-hmm. You have 4 guys surrounding you. That means everybody else is open. The smart play, the real play, to get the puck to somebody else. What does he do? He dances in and scores. Okay, great, you scored. But what you did was A, embarrass the Rangers, and B, forget about your teammates. Mm-hmm. Right? Now, part of that play was his teammates weren't even in the play. Right? No one was there. Full of wisdom or something else called excrement. Yeah, see, I'm getting there. Trying to move, and I'm trying to get adjusted here to make things a little better. It's different when I'm screen to screen than one screen.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to show guys something. So I'm going to pull Ashley out for a second. So when I go like this, you get to see everything, right? You see all of me and where I'm in the middle, or if I'm on one side or the other. When I bring Ashley in, it kind of changes the screen. And in doing that, like where I was, now I'm not in the screen. So I got to get over and do that. So that's the kind of thing that I'm looking at, or I'm covering. So we're kind of covering that. Boston, man, I got to tell you, Boston is starting to look much, much better.
I agree.
Just because you can't doesn't mean you should, or just because you can doesn't mean you should. That's a really good point. That's a really good point, E. That sometimes you got to make that decision, and just because it's the easiest thing to do, it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do, right? I see too many of those plays by McDavid that just, you know what? I want to bring something up. I want to bring up the Zegras lacrosse pass.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That play, that entire play, you got to watch Zegras' face. Okay? First of all, his initial thought is the lacrosse goal. Get around. Right? But then he sees the opposing player come in and closing off that side. I don't know what was in his mind, but he looks at the other player. They're reading each other's mind. He flips that puck up. Just enough. He has no clue it's going to work. He doesn't think it's going to work. He's just hoping to get it in front of the net. Mm-hmm. The fact that the other guy, and I can't remember his name, and I should, because to me, that's as big of a play as the flip.
Mm-hmm.
He hits this out of midair below the crossbar. So that's the other thing here. He's got to keep that stick below the crossbar to get it knocked in there. I mean, all in all, the entire play. And then the reaction afterward. I mean, Zegras, he's like,
he was like
heaven, right? Why do you?
Because I can.
Yeah, because she can. That she wants to, she can, you know, and you're on. See, this is the thing. I think this is something. Are the new knuckle pucks? AC, I'm with you on that. But I like the knuckle puck.
Yeah, I do too.
No, I think that was an interesting thing. I really do. I enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed it. You know, I've never seen somebody put a puck up like that, slap it, and then it go all these different directions. I've never seen that. Would love to. I mean, it would be great if that was true, but I don't think it is. It was just an interesting way to play.
Yeah.
Right? And goals are hard to come by. When you think of this, right? Only twice in the league, twice or three times, only two players in the league have ever averaged a goal a game. Or more. Only two. Right? Think about that. Only two guys have averaged a goal or more per game. Now, in baseball, I don't know if guys have gotten more. I think a few guys have gotten more than 162 hits, but it's kind of the same thing. Right? To consistently do it time and time again. It's not easy. So you got to take your goal where you can. Goalies are better now than they ever were. They're taller. They're more limber. They're more athletic. Right? The style of play, guys are bigger. They're faster. They're stronger. Mm-hmm. There's a whole bunch going on out there. You got to score where you can. And I have said it. By the way, if you go on Facebook, go to the group Gateway City Sports, the Facebook group, and look up from the bleachers, the December 27th. I did an interview with them. They put it out on the 27th, and I talked about, he asked about the violence of the sport, and I said, you know what? I'd rather see a lacrosse goal than a fight any day. Mm-hmm. Right? I like the skill. That skill. I get the guys that like the fights, but you know what? Fighting is such a small part of the game. Mm-hmm. Right? The skill of the game is so much more important. So much more important. And that's what's being lost in this is the skill of the game. Daft Punk, harder, better, faster, stronger. Now it sounds like the $6 Million Man. We can rebuild him. Faster, better, stronger.
No, it's a song that you probably haven't heard.
But they got it off the $6 Million Man. Because I know the $6 Million Man came out long before the Daft Punk song did. Where can I watch Springfield, the Blues farm team play? That's a good question. They have a thing that is similar to NHL TV. Oh, he had control of that puck. Similar to NHL TV, but for the season, it's like $130. Now, I know they have it per team, but for me, that doesn't do me any good. Like, if I'm going to watch, I got to watch it all, right? I got to be able to watch other teams. I got to be able to scout and do things like that. So right now, I just can't afford it. But you can go to AHL.com, and I think you can find their AHL TV there, or you can go to the Springfield website and get it from there. Right? So that's what. It's a good question, Brad. That's a really good question.
It is a really good question.
Right? Oh, by the way, did you hear who got called up?
Who?
The Springfield Goats.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
So, we know Mike Van Ryan has
COVID.
And apparently Steve Oates got back.
But Steve Ott did make the trip.
He has a bad back.
He has a bad
got
back.
You know, baby got back.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll get a check neighbor play? Oh man, Brad, I'm sorry, I don't have my interpreter.
We're not going to see Neighbors play this season, Brad. I'm sorry.
No,
like,
you're not going to see Neighbors on the Blues. Right? Neighbors is not going to be on the Blues until he is 20 years old, which is in the end of March. He's not allowed to play in the AHL. If they bring him up, they're stuck with him for the season, and they don't need him. He's going to end up being on, you do not want him sitting in the press box every game.
Yep.
Right? And in fact, I'll tell you what, you may hate hearing this. Right now, we don't need Neighbors, period. I think Neighbors is going to get traded. Right?
He probably is.
You may not want to hear that, but I absolutely think Neighbors is going to get traded because of Brown. Brown negates him, right? Brown, okay, Neighbors is younger and maybe a little cheaper. Brown is experienced and helps you now.
Yeah, but Neighbors might be able to do something in the AHL for a year or two because you got to think that Braun's getting older.
Okay.
I mean, our team is going to age, and he's still going to be in the age that we'll need him to be.
And that might be, but unfortunately with salary cap issues, I can just see it being a trade.
It's a possibility, but I also don't
really
think
can.
that Armstrong wants to trade the best prospect we have coming up recent.
No, he probably
I think
doesn't,
he'd probably trade a Costin before he'd trade a Neighbors.
That I could see. I really do see Costin getting traded.
Yeah.
And I be honest, I hate that. Because I thought when we got Costin, I was extremely happy. Mm-hmm. Costin has underperformed from day one.
Yeah, he absolutely has.
He has not performed well in the AHL. He has not performed. I mean, he performed decently in the KHL, but we've absolutely seen that the KHL and the NHL are two different. I mean, look at Laterra. Laterra tears it up in the KHL, and over here he can't keep candy out of his nose. Mm-hmm. Right? There's just something there that and then you have Yaskin. Yaskin couldn't make it on the Blues team, goes over there and is the MVP. Mm-hmm. Now I know he's injured, but he was playing more in the pot he's been in the press box a couple of games. He's been a healthy scratch. Mm-hmm. Right? So the MVP of the KHL was a healthy scratch on the worst team in the NHL. That tells you something. Right? Now, there are guys that can play in the KHL. Yes, I was making a joke, a reference to him being, I was making a reference to him and his cocaine issues. And that, because at one time he was reported as being a drug dealer, but he was actually just a drug user. Shockey says Costin has been confused from day one. And that's a true point. The trade made sense. Okay? The trade made sense. You traded a fourth liner for the number one overall European skater and a third to fourth line penalty killer. Right? So you traded first round draft picks, right? That's what you did. You swapped draft picks. And then because you went down, you had to get something for it. So you gave up a low line a fighter in Brian Reeves, and you asked for Sundqvist, who you had your eyes on for a while. Sundqvist was a better player than is a better player than Reeves is, plain and simple. Always will be. Reeves is the kind of guy that somewhere along the line got the skill coached out of him.
I'll be right back.
Oh, you know what, AC? That's funny. I like that, man. Thanks. I'm sorry, E. I shouldn't laugh, but it is kind of funny. No, but Costin, since that trade was in 17 or 16. I think in 16, right? 16 or 17. Yeah, 16. The 16 draft. And here it is, 21, 5 years later, and the guy's barely playing, or he's, injured or something else, right? Or he's down in the minors. Dude, it's time. Earn your paycheck, or let him go, right? Either earn your paycheck or let him go. The guy should be a lot better than what he is, and he expects it to be handed to him on a frickin' on a platter, and it's not. Actually, no, I don't have a new jersey. Everything I've had here, I've had for a while. I just may not have displayed it, Brad. Just may not have displayed it. It plain and simple comes down to this. It's time for Costin to put up or shut up, right? It was the right trade. Absolutely was the right trade at the time. Have no issue with the trade. Thought it was the right trade. Still think it was the right trade. But I'll tell you what, the centerpiece of that trade was Sundqvist.
Absolutely.
Sundqvist, that's the trade. Costin, first of all, you didn't know you were getting Costin because he could have gotten taken somewhere else. You were getting the 31st overall pick in the 16 draft. Mm-hmm. That's what you were getting. Okay? The centerpiece of that trade always was and always will be Sundqvist. Right? Mm-hmm. Sundqvist is the guy that has come out and been that player. He is one of the best penalty killers we have next to Ryan O'Reilly. Right? He's on the ice. He's an Energizer Bunny style. He gets in deep.
He
gets
pesky
on puck.
Too. He's good at getting under people's skin.
Yes. Right? He gets in the corners. He gets in the dirty areas. Right? Oscar Sundqvist is that guy. And that's the centerpiece of the trade. Right? Sundqvist always was. Would you take, and I'll put this up 1-to-1. If you here's the offer. We're going to give up Sundqvist. You have to give up Reeves. Nothing else. 1-to-1. Do you take that deal?
Yeah.
Every day. Mm-hmm. Every day, and I feel like I'm getting one over on you. That's exactly the way I feel. Right? Ryan Reeves didn't even last the season in Pittsburgh. The 17-18 season, or 16-17 season, he didn't even, is that right? 16-17? Or no, 17-18 season, 17-18. So the 17-18 season, he didn't even last the season in Pittsburgh. Got traded to the Knights in their first season, right? Oh, absolutely, we're on tomorrow. However, I may be a tad late. I think the pregame show, Ashley's going to have to start it up. I have an appointment. I don't remember what time that game is tomorrow, my time. Let me see. 7:30 to 6:30. That would be 2:30. Yeah, 2 o'clock. I think 2 o'clock I can make. Right? I think 2 o'clock I should be able to be here in time. And
okay.
That's 2 o'clock my time, right?
Yeah.
So I think I can be able to make it. I have an appointment at noon. Usually I'll try and leave a little early, but it's a 20-minute drive back, depending on traffic and the way I got to come back. There's two separate ways to come back. It kind of which way I come back depends on how I get forced through the traffic. But I should be able to get back. I might have you set the show up though.
Okay.
Right, go ahead. You know how to set the show up. You can. I know you only get to click one, but when I get there, I can add the others.
Okay.
Right? I can add the other. Actually, no. Now you should be able to click
I
more.
can click everything except for your Facebook page because you have to be on for it to go there.
Okay. Right. That's fine. So set it up. The Twitter. I'm not using Twitter for some reason. It's not working for me. So for Twitter, what I did today is after I put it in, I went to YouTube. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can do this because this is I went under my channel, under my content. And
I can get YouTube. I can't get. Well, I don't know if I can do that, but
Yeah.
I'll try. I'll figure it out.
So I can always get it once I get back. But you can preset up the show for us and get it shared out in different areas and that. Different groups and things like that.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I really am. This is the time of season. This is in baseball. They call it the dog days, right? Summer, August, right? July and August after the All-Star break. Excuse me. She'll let you know. I'll have send E a message if you can. Just a quick message telling him that it's up so he can share it.
Okay.
Right? If possible. If not, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it when I get there. Excuse me. No, that went wrong tube, man.
Oh.
Whew.
That's rough.
Yeah, that one definitely went wrong too. My lungs are exploding at the moment.
Oof.
Painful.
Painful.
You know what I found yesterday?
What?
I found something. You remember when I was in St. Louis and I posted a picture of something that I found that I hadn't had in years and years and years?
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I found fruit sours yesterday. These
Awesome.
are like my favorite freaking candy in the world. When I was a kid, they used to have the candy stores where you could scoop.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I would scoop up. Right? Nothing else mattered. I wanted these. And
I don't think I've had those, but I've had like the cherry sours.
Yeah, no, you got to get these fruit sours. I found them. I guess there's a company that still makes them in St. Louis, King's Candy or something like that. I found. So you know where I was staying at downtown, right? In Soulard, there was a gas station right across the street, and they had them like on the count, in front of the end cap.
Okay.
Of the counter. That's where I seen it, and they also had the Boston baked beans. Them I can get here, but I just love them. But these I can't get anywhere, and and yes, because of my green screen, the yellow ones are funky looking.
Yeah.
But that would look pretty neat, right? Hold the yellow one in my fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that cool?
Well, my necklace is kind of doing that right now.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, this show's digressing fun. This is
We're having fun.
I honestly think that we're getting to a very good point in our relationship, our professional relationship. Mm-hmm. You have to have a relationship on this show of some style, right? You have to. You have to have some type of communication and some type of understanding of what each person brings to the show. And that's why, I'll bring people on, but I never know what they're going to bring to the show. And I have to be a Swiss Army knife at times, right? Mm-hmm. I have to bring people in. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do different things. Well, bringing you on the show, someone who, you were here thinking, I'm going to be here once or twice. Right.
Yeah.
Now you're a full-time co-host and it's been a learning period.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's been a learning period, but it's been a good learning period. Right.
Agreed.
I know. I love when Lance comes on, because Lance comes on and Lance is like, you're sitting there like,
oh yeah. I'm just like so happy to hear what he's going to say.
You're not even a kid in a candy store. You're a sailor on Fifth Avenue.
Oh, I'm something because I just love when you guys are going, because it's like, yay.
Your eyes are so big. You're just sitting back. You're sitting back. It's not that you don't want to talk. It's that you're like, I'm letting these two do it. I'm going to soak it all in. The way you do it, I love it. I love how you soak that in. And then there's times when I'm on a rant You let me rant. You don't stop me because former co-hosts used to stop me for my rants.
Oh, I'll let you go until it's completely out of line, and then I'm like, hey, let's talk about this.
Yeah, but for the point, man. See, but God, I'm watching Boston, and you don't want to like Boston, but man, that's some good hockey. That's a good hockey team.
They are a very good hockey team. I just don't like Brad Marchand.
Oh no, I can't stand Brad Marchand. Right? I do not understand how the league has not dealt with him. I mean, and not behind closed doors. I mean, in right out in front.
Oh yeah.
Right. The behind closed doors doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. Right? They have to do it in front.
It needs to be up front and center. Brad Marchand, you are going to be suspended for a significant amount of time if you keep doing the type of plays that you are out there doing. Mm-hmm. Right. And you know what's really effed up about it? The guy doesn't need to do it.
No, he's a very talented hockey player. He doesn't need.
Yes. He's an amazing hockey player. But everything that surrounds it makes it useless to me. Oh, that was a beautiful
there was a
goal by
quote that
Pastrnak.
they did recently. I saw it, and he apparently was asked what his New Year's resolution was, and his response was, "Nothing. I'm perfect."
What a penis.
What a douchebag.
What a penis.
Total douchebag.
Yeah, what a penis. Yeah, and I can say that, right, on my show. I can call him a penis on my show.
I mean, you said the F word earlier. I mean, you can come out and say he's a dick.
Yeah, but I can say the F word and not offend anybody. You say penis and like, oh my God, he said penis. How did he say that word? See, I'm getting, the stand-up is working.
It is working. You're getting funnier.
I'm getting so much better at being able to just let myself go.
I really enjoy it. Today's been really one of your better ones, actually.
Right? No, it is liberating, and now I'm able to let myself go. I'm able to just let things come out, to be more off the cuff. And I love what we do. I love the game of hockey. Mm-hmm. I love sports. I'm a sports guy, right? I mean, I don't follow basketball, but I'll watch it. I like soccer. It's a hard game for me to watch. Soccer is a very, very hard game to watch. I think there's so many intricacies in a soccer game that it's just too hard, right? The offside rules. I constantly talk about Ted Lasso, right? Mm-hmm. He consistently goes up to the linesman and goes, "Explain to me how that was offsides." And the linesman looks at me and goes, "No, really, tell me, because I don't understand the rule yet." It's really cool. And I love watching the game. But I'll tell you what. There's one thing with soccer that you cannot deny. And I don't care how big of a soccer fan you are. Women's World Cup soccer is better to watch than men's World Cup soccer.
Oh, absolutely.
And then men's, and I'll even go so far to say than men's soccer. Right? No, you know what, Anna? I came from indoor soccer, from the MILS, back in the day, before you and Ashley were even twinkles in your father's eyes. No, indoor soccer is hockey. That's hockey. I'll tell you what, that game, I absolutely loved it. They had the Steamers game on my birthday for like 4 years in a row. I turned 16 at a Steamers game and got a kiss on the lips from 3 of the cheerleaders. I was a happy boy. Happy boy. I had lipstick all over my face that day. I bet you were. I got home. You should have seen the look on my mom's face. You should have absolutely seen the look on my mom's face. She asked,
Ryan, happy birthday.
Buddy. Happy birthday.
The first one's always fun.
Happy birthday. Right? We miss you, Ryan. Thank you. But no, I walked in and my mom asked, "Did you take him to a soccer game or a brothel?" I had that smile on my face. I was in pure freaking heaven. I even got phone numbers.
Oh, wow.
I was feeling pretty good. Yeah, they were 3 of them were the same phone. I got 5 phone numbers. 3 of them were the same number. It was the weather line.
That's cute.
So that was yeah. I'm not a bad joke there. Right, no. That indoor soccer. I'm sorry, indoor soccer. When I got FIFA, I got a couple of FIFA games for my Oh, by the way, I got to run and show you something real quick. So take the show over for a minute. I'll be right back because I got something to show you.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree with Guy, though. Women's soccer is more exciting for me to watch, too. I don't know. They just seem to have more energy for some reason. Like, the guys are quick to anger, but the girls just have energy. Crickets, yes.
Okay, hit the cricket button. Okay, this is for Randy, but this is what I went and got me for my birthday.
Oh, cool.
It is the Tony Stewart Dirt Track Racing 2-pack. So it has the All-American Racing and the Sprint Car Racing, right? I've told you before, I like the racing. I don't have a wheel set up, but it's something I want to. No, I did not see that. I would love to, man. If you got it, let me know. I see that, Anna, where you're saying it, but I'll tell you what. You go watch the women play soccer, and I got to tell you, it is a cleaner game. It's much crisper. There's a lot less diving, right? A lot less diving. In fact, it's there's more camaraderie in the game. You don't see. I'm sorry. Where they're always wanting to kill each other. That takes away from me.
That's what I was saying.
It takes it away from the way that they are playing. The way that the women play. I'm sorry. I can watch women's soccer, but this is something that I know that we're trying to have a women's night, and I want to talk. I want to bring this up. Why is women's sport? Why do people not want to watch women play sports? I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I really don't get it. There's a bowling, right? Men and women should participate in the exact same league, right? I mean, there should be the professional bowlers. It shouldn't be a PBA and an LPBA.
I know in high school we did co-ed. It was funny because my high school split teams, but my brother was on one team and I was on the other, and we'd compete against each other.
I don't see where a male has an advantage over a female, right?
Not on bowling. I understand hockey because of the size difference.
Yes, right. But at the same time, I think that there's more made about that than there really is. Okay, yeah, it's a size, but look at Falk, or not Falk, Krug.
Krug, yeah.
He's what, 5'7", 5'8", without skates.
I think he's 5'8".
Better yet, David Eckstein.
Yeah.
David Eckstein. Well, see, Anna, that's a result. That's not the reason that people don't watch. That's why they don't show it. That's the less ad, the spot. So the thing is, why are the WNBA? Well, first of all, basketball is a joke sport to me to begin with. Okay, I don't get basketball. I never have. They've changed it to a very. They've changed what the game of basketball is supposed to be. There's no pure shooter in basketball anymore.
No.
It's all go to the nut. Who can I posterize the most? And I can't stand that. Right? I love the pure shooting. I loved Larry Bird. Larry Bird was a pure shooter. Magic Johnson was a shooter. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with the skyhook. That was pure basketball. Right? Shaquille O'Neal couldn't hit a bucket from outside of the paint if his life depended on it. Right? It's just not for me. But getting back to what I was talking about with David Eckstein, he's a smaller player. He still gets in there and does his job. He did his job. Right? I think a woman could play the game. I absolutely think a woman could play the game. I think women can referee the game.
I agree with that.
Right? I think women can referee the game. I think we need to change. First of all, and this is a little political, but not. Men need to understand that we don't run this fucking world. The women do. Okay? They got half the money and all the beep. Mm-hmm. Plain and simple. That's what it is. And I guess Andrew doesn't like what I'm saying. But no, women run this. Women have a more control over things than we think. And I really think that women can get in there and be refs and be more important. And we're going to start seeing that. Mm-hmm. And I think that a woman could be a goalie. I absolutely disagree with that, Andrew. I absolutely disagree with that.
I mean, all you got to do is talk to my brothers, man. I kicked their ass in every sport we ever played.
You know what? I'm sorry. You know what, Andrew? I absolutely. You know what? And we don't get to know. Mm-hmm. The only time there have been 4 women. I think it's either 3 or 4 women that have actually played in the NBA. Right? But not now. I mean, it was back. No other woman that I know of other than Rumeh has played in the NHL. Mm-hmm. And she was only in a in a preseason game.
Yeah.
Right? They didn't give her a chance. What if they would have really given her a chance? What if they would have not just put her in there for, the Lightning that was a freaking PR stunt. Plain and simple. Mm-hmm. Right? Instead of the Lightning going, you know what, this girl can play, let's put, this person can play. I don't want him to be hired to diversify staffs. I don't need that, but I want him to be hired because they're the best people to be hired. I'm sorry, there are women. Haley Wickenheiser was an amazing hockey player. Mm-hmm. Who, I'm sorry, was better than most 3rd and 4th line men in the NHL.
I'll agree with that.
Right? And there are others out there. Right? There are others out there. Who is it?
Granato?
Tammy Granato. Right? Tammy Granato could have played on a men's team in the NHL and made a living doing it. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I absolutely... Now, if you want to think I'm wrong, that's okay. You have every right to your opinion. In fact, I love that you think I'm wrong. That's okay. Andrew, that's absolutely okay. If you don't watch me ever again because I said that, that's okay. Why didn't she? Because she wasn't given the chance. Plain and simple. She was not given the chance. We have too many people who have an old style of thinking that would have never given her a chance. She would have never gotten a fair shake. Never. And if you ever listen to Remu talk, she says when she played the Blues, oh my God, I kept hearing them say, oh, we have to score on her. We cannot let a girl beat us. That wasn't the mindset that they should have had. The mindset should have been, we got to beat that goalie. Plain and simple. That's the only mindset that should have been there. We have to beat that goalie. Her gender, the gender should have never came into it. So Andrew, you want to know why she didn't? Because she was never given the chance, because there's too many Neanderthals that are in the sport that would have never given it to her, or she would have never, ever gotten a fair shake. 6-2, Red Wings over the Sharks. Ott with the bad back. Yep. Did you like what I put on the show today?
Yeah, I did.
Got back, and then in parentheses, a bad back. Baby got back. Ott's got a back. It ain't good. We are playing in the neighborhood. Oh, that sucked.
That was pretty bad.
Could have been
started
worse.
out good.
Yeah. Well, I don't have that. I don't have it. New tongue just ain't working right. I'm telling you, baby. And I say that. Please don't take that in offense to that. If I call you baby or honey or sweetheart or anything like that, it's just an off the cuff remark.
Hey, guy, shut up.
Oh, be quiet. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, or something.
Or something. I think there was something there. He's questionable Wednesday. If he tests negative, he's going tomorrow. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. If he gets a negative test, he's going tomorrow. The NHL's got to have him out there. Well, I got my wish of bigger shoulders for Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? Boy, did I nail it with that article or
you
what?
You did a great job on that article.
Did I nail
I loved
did
that
I
article.
Nail that article
you
or
totally
what?
did.
I mean, the things that I had in that article, a majority of them came true.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You look at Parayko during the Winter Classic. He fired one hard on net.
Oh yes, he did.
Mean, he tuned that sight in. He let one go. Right? It was more of a wrist, but his wrist beats some people's slap shots.
Oh yes, it does.
Right? No, Ryan. That's a chief in the Navy. They in order to become a chief in the Navy, you have to give your backbone up. Oh, I'm going to get killed here by all my Navy buddies. I didn't have good chiefs when I was in. So, yeah, and I also didn't make it. So I get to have what do you call it? I get to have a sore thumb or sore feelings or whatever you want to call it. Neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're showing I so wish they would stop showing points, because points it's not giving you a good example of what things are. It really doesn't, right? There is in no way, shape, or form does the standings give you an accurate view of what it is, right? And especially now, there's a good chance, a very good chance, that not every team is going to play 82 games.
I mean, I see your point this season, but I also see the other point that you can't count points that don't exist. So
You're
go
not
by
counting
points.
points that don't exist.
You're
That's
counting
the difference.
potential points that don't exist.
No, you're not. That's not what it is. It's a winning percentage. It's how well you're winning, what your winning percentage is, right? And that's what it's counting, and that's what's being missed. And I really want to get into this real quick. We got a few minutes here, right? Because I understand what you're saying, but it's not what people think. We've been conditioned as fans to look at points, and I get that. That's, in a lot of cases it works, but this is not a standard season. You have teams that have played up to, well, let's look at here. Dallas has played 5 games less than St. Louis, right?
Mm-hmm.
5 games less. Actually, no. I don't know. I think they're playing right now, but 28, 29, 30. So 132. No, Dallas has played 4 games less. Colorado's played 5 games less. Well, how can you sit there and say that Colorado is doing worse than St. They Because they're not. They're absolutely not. In any other league, they would be listed in first. Right? You look at any other standings and they use winning percentage. Absolutely use winning percentage. The NHL is the only one that uses points. Okay, fine. I get using points. I absolutely do. Right? And I'm lost here. Is it still showing on screen?
It's showing on screen. You're showing points. Now you want to go to points percentage.
Yeah, but I can't find, oh, here it is. I couldn't find the tab, right? That's points. That by points, okay, that's great, but that's not the true story. This is. Colorado is winning at a better clip than St. Louis, Minnesota, or Nashville. They have less points, I get that. But their winning percentage is better. If this season gets stopped short, that is what's going to matter, not points. And until game 82, points don't matter. I'm sorry. I know that's what we use, but they don't matter. We need to look at points percentage.
You see, I get what you're saying, but you going on your rant, writing your article is not going to change the NHL because they're not listening to us.
You're right. You're absolutely right. They're not listening to us. But that's the thing. Do you know how change happens? Change happens when one person says, you know what? I don't think that's right, and there's a better way to do it.
Well, keep on barking up that tree, and maybe you'll get some luck. But
right?
Until then, the realistic person that I am, I look at points because that's what they tell me to look at. But I do also click that button and I see that points percentage. I do have you on one shoulder and the logical on the other.
Yeah, no, but see, that's the thing. Logic would tell you that this is the right one to look at and not this. Logic tells you that the team that's won at a better clip is the better team.
Logic also tells me the season isn't over yet, so it really doesn't matter. I go by what the NHL posts.
I get what you're saying, okay? But let me ask you this. What are the chances that every team does not play 82 games?
Honestly, I don't see that happening. I see every team getting it done.
Well, I mean, that's what the NHL wants, but it could not happen. There's a chance it doesn't happen.
There is a chance, but there's a chance that, we could get off the show and one of us, goes to the store and gets hit by a car and dies. I mean, there's a chance for anything to happen.
Yeah, but the likelihood of not every team playing 82 games is a lot higher than me getting hit by a bus.
No, actually it's not. Because the NHL is going to be stubborn. They found their window. They're going to push. And if they have to, they'll make them play through it. They'll come up with the rules to say, okay, well then you're going to play short, just like the Blues did, or you're going to,
Well, they did it last season. They did it during. They did it during the shortened season. Mm-hmm. They had a couple of teams that continued to play into the playoffs, regular season games into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So and it was for seeding. It was for lottery seeding.
Yeah.
That's exactly why they did it. It was for lottery seeding because they could change. Lottery seeding could change based on the points that the teams would get.
I can see them doing that again if it's necessary. I don't see a team not finishing.
It's quite possibly. It just depends on how much they'd have to push back the playoffs, right? That's the issue.
I could also see them, shortening it, but they would shorten it to where everyone would hit the same number. Does that make sense? Like if they said, okay, we're not going to catch up, so we're going to cut it at 70.
Well, they decided the seeding with the round robin. Yeah, they did that, but the seeding in the round robin was based on everything in that, the 24 teams, the 12 teams in each league that made the playoffs were the 12 best teams in winning percentage, in points percentage. And they were ranked by points percentage, not points. Right? That is my point. I stick by that.
Yes, but I don't see them doing that again.
That's what they will use. Say again?
I don't see them allowing that to happen again. They might shorten it, but they'll shorten it evenly.
I get it, but it's just. Here's the other thing. Here's another thing. Let me ask you this. Okay, the coaches for the divisions, right? Mm-hmm. Are the coaches for the All-Star game? Mm-hmm. There's a cutoff point, and I forget. I don't know what that cutoff point is. The guys that have the highest points, right, will coach that division.
Okay.
If the season ended right now, does Berube deserve to coach over the Avalanche coach, who I can't remember his name?
No.
Absolutely, he doesn't, but he will.
But
Berube
that's another reason
because of points, and that's what I'm getting at.
I get what you're saying, but it's not how the NHL runs. So I'm going to make my thought process with how it's going to happen, not how I wish it would happen.
Okay. Here's what what round robin did, Chris. Basically, they had 24 teams, and you cannot do a even out playoffs with 24 teams, right? Mm-hmm. So the top 4 teams were going to get a bye. no matter what, right? They were going to get buys directly into the playoffs. And then everyone else in the other seedings, the other 4 positions, right? In the other 4 and the other 4 were going to be done by this other playoff, this 3-game playoff. Well, to make things fair, now they made the round robin so it would not be exhibition games and that teams wouldn't sit guys and that. They made it count so teams would be, if they did not play those games, if they got a straight bye, hockey is one game where the teams that were playing that had just come in were absolutely going to rule in the first round of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Absolutely they were, right? We saw it with Vancouver and St. Louis, right? Vancouver came in and they were playing hot. They came in as the top, has a 5th seed, and we ended up playing the 4th seed. They came in as the highest seed, and the Blues didn't play out, so they dropped down to the 4th seed. Mm-hmm. The only issue I had with that was they gave Boston an advantage they didn't give St. Louis.
Yep.
Boston played 4-3-2, where St. Louis played 2-3-4. And it should have been the same. They should have both played 4-3-2. I absolutely believe that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I absolutely believe if we'd played 4-3-2, we're the 2nd or 3rd seed. We're not the bottom seed. I absolutely believe that. So that's where I'm coming with that. Right? Oops. Oh, my mouse went out for a second. So that's kind of how that round robin worked. Man, what a good show.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
What a really fun show today. What a lot of energy I'm bringing. Brought some energy today. Hopefully I'll do well tonight, and I'll get it recorded again.
Maybe you should shower before a show more often.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if it was the shower or something else, but definitely gave me a better look. I even got the lighting a little bit better. It's not as glow. I got a little glow here, but it's not as bad as it's been in the past.
Yeah.
I think my lighting's in.
Yeah, yes. He showered, and then 3 people told him he looked nice today.
Yeah, that
with the wet hair that looked like it was slicked back.
Yeah, well, it didn't last long. See.
No. Now you're looking more like normal.
Actually, before we go, now that Steven is here, I want to address something. Steven did not like my comments on Tarasenko.
No, he didn't like mine either. But that's where we say that your opinions matter just as much as ours. We're all entitled.
But I want to address
that.
I want to address it. So first of all, I think my comment got twisted a little bit. Yes, Tarasenko's agent did not go ask for that trade without Tarasenko's approval or knowledge. Yes, mm-hmm. I absolutely. However, it doesn't mean that he got bad advice. And that's what I was trying to get at. No, you didn't attack.
No, Stephen, you're
I did
great.
Not say that.
You're great, Stephen.
Steve, I didn't say that. I don't mean that. Okay, bud? I don't mean that. I just mean that you weren't, you disagreed with it. Mm-hmm. Did not attack. And I absolutely, and I'm not, and I don't want you to think I'm attacking you. I'm addressing the points you made. That's what I'm doing right now, bud. Okay? I think Tarasenko was given some very bad advice. You made a point about the medical, the issue with the medical. Yes, there's an issue there. If I was a Blues player and I needed any surgery whatsoever before Mercy or Barnes touched me, or pardon me, Barnes or Washington University touched me, I would be going to a specialist somewhere. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I would be doing that, whether the team liked it or not. Mm-hmm. This is the problem with advertisers. This is the problem when you have things like that. You get forced into what could be a very bad situation. This is one of the things that I'm very concerned about, and it's why I'm not pushing advertising on my site. Right? Because if somebody if Fan Cave was on my site, if Fan Cave was advertising on my site right now, mm-hmm. I would actually have to remove them from advertising because I could not, in all good conscience, let them advertise on my site anymore, or not talk bad about what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Oh, I went off on them on Facebook and they turned it around on me. Oh, if you wanted to talk to us, you really could have gotten a hold of us. Oh, you mean like that 9 phone calls and the 12 emails that you never responded to? Yeah, you mean like that? Yeah, so I threw that back. You can, but then you become the Athletic, and I don't want to do that either. Right? If someone's going to advertise on my site, they have to understand that I'm allowed to say what I'm going to say, whether they like it or not. Right? If I disagree with something they're doing, well, then I have the right to say it. Mm-hmm. I absolutely hate the morality clause. I think it's bullshit. I think it's hypocritical. And I also think that when you bow down to advertisers or to money, you destroy your product. That's how I feel. Right? We talked about this yesterday. It was Vladdy's shoulder. It was Fabry's knee. There were a couple other incidents there where guys had surgeries that didn't go off as planned the first time and needed to be redone. Mm-hmm. There was more than one, right? There was more than one. And I get that. So that is something that needs to be addressed, mm-hmm. right? It does need to be addressed. And these guys need to know that you can go, don't listen to what they say. Steen too. Right now, what Steen's going through with his back right now, mm-hmm. right? It was not, it was, the guy couldn't even bend over and tie his shoes.
I mean, it might be part of the reason why Parayko didn't opt for surgery. He chose to, bear through it last season.
Bear through it and go with therapy. I absolutely, I don't blame him. Mm-hmm. Right? I really don't blame him. I think, but I also, I know what a disgruntled player is. Mm-hmm. I will tell you what a disgruntled player is right here, right now, that I've seen in my career, in my Blues fanhood, that stands out more than any other, and that's Adam Oates. Mm-hmm. Adam Oates was a disgruntled player, and it showed on the ice. It absolutely showed on the ice. It showed off the ice. In the book Blues Fire, I will never forget this. The guy that wrote it went up to, and I forget who wrote it, and I can't find the book anymore. I can't find my copy of it. But he went up to Oates and said, "Hey man, can we get an interview? Can we talk to you about this, about the contract and the things that were going on?" And all Oates said was "fuck." That was a quote. Direct quote from the book. And KMO TV, and I think he was with Channel 4 at the time, was very sympathetic to him. Thought that he had some valid reasoning and excuses. I seen that, Ryan. The NHL was in flux at that period, right? And while Oates was renegotiating his contract, and it did make sense, he was renegotiating it every year. He was renegotiating because the owners, even his owners, were out there paying guys that did a lot less than him, a lot more money than him. Mm-hmm. And he had, I'm telling you, right? Let's, for example, say this. I own the show, right? I own the show. You and me are on it, and we have a third person. Mm-hmm. Somebody comes along and tells that third person they're going to pay them 10% more than you and me get paid. Yet that third person is only on the show 3 days a week. Are you going to be pissed off about that?
A little bit.
I am too. And I'm, going, well, what the hell, And then the guy goes, well, you can negotiate your contract with an advertiser. Well, renegotiate your contract. Well, that was your contract you signed then. Well, okay, let's renegotiate it. Let's make sure I'm paid more than that guy. Okay, that makes sense. We'll renegotiate your contract. You and Ashley are now paid more than him. And then they let him go and they bring in another guy, and the next guy they bring, same thing, but they pay him more than what our new renegotiated contract was. At some point, that gets old fast. And for Oates, that got old. There were fourth-line guys that scored 10 points in a season that didn't score as many points in a season than Oates did in a week, getting paid hefty amount of money more than Oates did. I understand where Oates was coming from.
Mm-hmm. Don't blame him at all.
Some told me he's trying to up his trade value. If he was doing that, he would score and skate away. He wouldn't be last off. Chris, you're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. He's not trying to up his trade value. He's absolutely not trying to up his trade value. And I'll tell you why he's not trying to up his trade value. Listen to his press conferences. What is the first thing he says in that press conference? What is the very first thing when he talks to Darren Pang?
The fans. He's always talking about the fans.
Absolutely. These fans are great. Thank you so much for your support.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for being out here. We feel you. We hear you. He hates being called Vladdy.
Mm-hmm.
He said that. He doesn't like nicknames. Vladdy is a nickname to him. Right? In Russia, nicknames are, your middle name is you are a son of. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I've even sent him something using his middle name. And, I would be Malcolmovich. And not a lot of people know that. But that would be my middle name. And that is kind of how you're used a nickname in Russia. In Russian. And you can ask Kat, if I can ever get her back on the show, she'll tell you that. That's how they do it. Yet, when they're calling Vladdy, what's he doing? He's soaking it in. He wants it. Mm-hmm. He understands it. Right? I am absolutely... Oh, yeah, helmet hair. I love that, too. Mm-hmm. Right? Him coming out with his hair sticking out in the side. I love it, man. Right? Brian Green, his actions speak louder the way he is with the team, his teammates, and treats his fans, and says it to me. Absolutely.
I want to go back to what Steven said.
Okay.
I completely understand Vladdy being mad at the medical staff. But what I was saying yesterday is that I think his love for the fans here and for the city here will outweigh that in the end. And that's where he might resign in the end after all.
He has a Drew Rosenhaus style agent. Mm-hmm. And if you do not know who Drew Rosenhaus is, he is the reason that baseball salaries and football salaries are where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't take hockey players. At least I don't think he has many. And the reason he doesn't is because the NHL has put a stomp on him. Mm-hmm. The salary cap prevents him from going in there and doing what he does. Mm-hmm. Right? I'd have to look, but I honestly think he does not have any hockey. At least any like
Panarin.
No.
That's how Vladdy got in touch with him.
That Panarin is not with Rosenhaus.
Oh.
Panarin is with he's a Rosenhaus style.
Okay.
Agent is what I meant, not with Rosenhaus. Okay. But his agent is trying to flex muscle. And Tarasenko followed that. In New York, that worked. Mm-hmm. With the Breadman, it worked. Armstrong, not so much.
No, it won't work.
Right?
But I don't think that Tarasenko hired him to get more money as much as it was, I want to play the way that I play.
And I think that has a lot more to do with it than the money side of it. Mm-hmm. And I think...
And he might... Shockey's right. He might put that in there.
Yeah. Yeah, he might. And I would be fine with that, my point is if they can't settle it after this season, he will get traded. I'm not even on that. Steven, that's not a bad point. But I'm not even on that boat yet. I could see this now. I could see Vladdy going, okay, what's your offer preseason? Mm. Let's talk about a contract extension. Put your number out to me. Let me know what it is, and then let me see what I can do with it. It could be a Kurt Warner deal. Mm-hmm. Right? I know for a fact. I know this for a fact. Oh, I do think Husso's leaving. I absolutely do.
I'm the one that planted that seed in his ear.
Yeah, you did, and I see it. I'm sorry. I watched Cujo leave. Mm-hmm. I was at Coop. God, who was? I got to go back and I got to think. It was either, and I know it wasn't Hebert. There was a goalie.
Oh.
I remember him getting a start that everyone was surprised that he got the start, and he got traded the next day.
Oh wow.
Oh
wow.
Yeah,
but hey, Guy, this has been a great show.
He got the start to showcase him for scouts. Mm-hmm. There was a trade in the works. They put him up. They showcased him. Bam. If Lindgren was the guy that you were going to trade, you would keep Lindgren here to showcase him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that's where I'm at. Oh, Kevin Nash. I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, buddy. Welcome.
Well, Guy, I'm sorry, but it is almost 9:30, and I got to get my kids to bed. They have school tomorrow.
I'm sorry. We went really long. So, hey, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Oh, what a show, man. I love when we can just do this and just talk and not worry about who's watching or anything. So, hey, everybody, this is Guy the Hawaii Blues fan for Ashley Slapshot Jones saying aloha, mahalo, and we'll see you all on the next Blue Note Fan Report. Blues versus Penguins in Pittsburgh.